Bet Draymond that he'll have a better free throw percentage than you this year?
That's the first time I'm hearing it.
Do you think it's plausible?
No chance. But I like a little game within the game, so game on.
How big is it? 60 and 60 from the line. How big is it when he's doing that type of night from the line?
No, it's huge just because the way certain teams defend us, the way that we're organized and trying to create shots, he can settle a lot of possessions if we're, not the ball's not moving. We got a lot of those off of second side action, which is always great when defense is kind of shifted a little bit and he can take advantage of a good matchup or a driving angle. And then, it allows us to set up our defense, and it's just good basketball when you can create those type. It's hard to create fouls out of nothing. It has to be off of good action that creates either a mismatch or an advantage, and he takes advantage of those opportunities.
Steph, the sample size really isn't small anymore. Jimmy fits. Why do you think he fits so well within what you guys have built?
He just plays good basketball. Whatever the possession calls for, he sees the floor so well. He's composed when he has the ball in his hands. You can't really speed him up, and I think he understands what it takes to win, and he doesn't care what it looks like. It's just try to get the job done. So good basketball with guys that love sharing the ball, using each other, fits right in.
Steph, before your big 35-footer towards the end of the game, JK had that big offensive rebound to set it up. What did he bring on that play and to the game as a whole tonight?
It was great energy, impactful plays. I know Luka got his numbers, but he took the challenge, trying to, make him work for everything. And it's great to have a point of attack defender like that can, again, take the challenge. He's going to continue to get better at that. But those 50-50 balls, decisive plays, especially in the second half when we started to get the ball moving. If he didn't have anything, he got off of it. The ball came back to him in the corner. He hit some big threes. He got to the lane. And like you said, the offensive rebound was huge. So just trying to be in the right place at the right time and continue to make impactful plays. Like, we all try to do that because that's what helps you win. And the more he can do that, the more he helps himself and helps us.
Steph, another opening night game, and you're not at home. While you're warm-up shooting, we saw Riley, your daughter, giving you an assist for your last shot. What does that mean for you to share even these moments with your family?
Yeah, my wife and my daughter here. It's weird because when my dad retired, I was the same age Riley is now. So it's kind of a full circle, knowing the experiences I had as a kid watching and getting to relive that as a dad now. So it's pretty special that me and Ish get to she got spoiled, a little solo trip, so it was fun.
Steph, Jimmy talked about how he was trying to be, I guess, a mentor to JK, helping him out, showing him things. He talked about the importance of veterans like Luol Deng and Derrick Rose in his career. I was wondering for you, were there any veterans early in your career that kind of helped you, I guess, along your way?
A lot of guys. I think, just watching Monte play, understanding the killer instinct he had. I had Anthony Morrow. He was kind of young at the time, but the Charlotte guy that looked out for me early on. And then Jared Jack, another guy who was kind of a wily veteran that came in at a time that we were trying to take that next step. So it's the way the game goes. You give back to it, and it keeps you sharp too, because I'm sure Jimmy's getting to see the game and think about it in a way that he can explain it to JK in a way that's going to help him and, like I said, help our team.
Steph, I know this is jumping ahead a little bit. You guys don't practice tomorrow. How much of a test will Denver provide Thursday? And beyond just them, the idea of how eager are you to see where you guys measure up with all the teams in the West? I mean, the West, as usual, is loaded. Tonight's obviously the step you wanted to take. But starting with Denver and Jokic and then moving forward, how do you view sort of the weeks ahead?
not getting too ahead of ourselves. You know, we know how we started last year and know where it went from there. It's just for us, every game is an opportunity to get better. You know, that's the greatest answer you wanted. In the sense of we're just plotting our way through night after night. The way the preseason went this year was kind of interesting because it was 3 totally different styles that we played in a row: Portland, LA, the Clippers. This week is kind of the same vibe with Denver and Portland back to back. So just for us, is how can you switch the game plan quickly to understand how Denver plays, knowing their tendencies, knowing how great Jokic is him and Murray. So and then some of the additions they have, but we'll take a game at a time and enjoy, this process.
2 more, Ramon, and then over here.
Steph, you guys played so many times against LeBron, especially against the Lakers. These big national TV games, opening night, Christmas, etc. How strange is it to see him sitting up on the throne there instead of in the game? And I think it's like the first opening night he's missed in 23 years.
Yes, I know it's for whatever the injury really is. I'm sure he wanted to play, and it is very different being here and him not out there. But I'm sure for him at year 23, it's try to be there healthy for whatever the stretch run that he can be there, the meat of the season. So if he's out, I'm sure there's a legitimate reason.
Last one.
Hey, Steph, it's your 16th season in the NBA, and you have done it all from MVP to championship. After seeing all the young players in China look up to you, after all that love and success, what keeps you hungry?
I enjoy the game. I don't know how else to say it. It brings the best out of me. I get to show my creativity. I love the work that goes into it. I love the competition. And, for whatever reason, physically, I'm still able to do it at a high level. And I'm going to try to get everything I can out of it. But other than that, the game is continuing to grow. And in order to keep trying to lead the pace, you have to kind of dig deep and remember the reason that you're out there. And I've been able to do that for a long time.
Buddy, I think you guys opened the second half on an 18-4 run. What was the message from the coaching staff at halftime?
We just know we let the game get away from us. We let gas off. We didn't apply any more pressure. We just didn't play with force at the end of the second quarter. And I think the guys know if we just apply the pressure we were doing earlier, we can break this thing open. When JK was able to use Steph as a weapon and be able to get a couple back doors, made some wide open threes, get us going, and then Jimmy was going downhill and getting to the free throw line and stopping and setting our defense. Once he be able to set our defense, I feel like we're better. And Draymond quarterback and Steph being Steph, and we're getting stops, man. That's what we did mostly, is get stops.
You mentioned it a little right there, but what does, when Jimmy gets to the line 16 times in a game, what does that do beyond just the points?
It sets our defense, of course. So I think that no NBA team wants to go against a set defense because everybody knows what you're doing, basically. It just comes down to making and missing and the pressure applying. But he does that. 16 times is very impressive. But also put points on the board for us, and hopefully slows down the Lakers, slows down Luka, Austin. Even though he had 43 points, you make him have to work hard all night and keep those other guys with rhythm.
Buddy, the preseason was one thing, but what does it say about Steve trusting Will Richard this much in his regular season opener as a rookie?
I think when you come to Warriors, everybo's gonna get a chance for sure. Steve lets him play. And Will's season, he's a national champion. He's played. He's 22 years old. He understands how to play. He understands how to win, and we all trust him. Steve trusts him, of course, and that's all that matters. And now, when you're out there, we all a group. We're gonna teach him as vets, and he's gonna learn. He's gonna mess up sometimes, but with rookies, perfect. And we're happy for him. I tell him to go there, have fun, and he actually made a big 3 in the corner for us, and I was able to seal the deal for us.
Buddy, back here, you mentioned playing with force, and it seems like Jonathan brings a unique kind of force that maybe no one else in the team has.
He's elite.
So how much difference do you see in him this year? Because not just that force getting into the hoop, but creating passes, getting rebounds, doing other things.
JK is one of those guys that he's probably one of the best in the world, other than LeBron Anthony Edwards, he's one of the best all-world in transition, especially when the ball going downhill, and this summer, I think he did an initiative just making reads, and he have his group that he has with him, and I watch his Instagram all the time, and he's making reads and it translate to practice, and he had a great training camp and great preseasons, and just going to keep translating. He's been working with Jimmy, and Jimmy's been helping him, and it's perfect for him because idolize this game after someone like Jimmy, and it's a long season. We can keep getting better. Some halves can look bad, but he delivered in the second half, and that's all we asked him to do, be him. It's being that big brother mentality that's taken down after practice, and them two down on the court together, just working out, and he's learned from Jimmy. Jimmy's talking to him which read he's making, which read not to make, and it's helping. And they have a great relationship that they've been working on, and it's good for our team.
Buddy, can you describe your relationship with Jimmy?
You can't figure it out already?
I mean, just like, is there anything that we don't already know about?
I just don't like him. It's simple as that. Nah, Jimmy's cool, man. You know that, as you've seen. Jimmy's cool. Like he said, he's been that spark for his team. And like I said, he just brings the unique vibe that every team needs. And we can't ask much for that.
But being on the team with such veterans, you're talking legendary type guys, Hall of Famer type guys with a Hall of Fame coach, playing and a coaching career with all the rings Steve Kerr has. Where do you fit at this point in your career? Mentally, where are you at as far as being an integral piece to hopefully getting this franchise their fifth Larry O'Brien in this run they've had?
Okay, just being myself, actually. You can't be like those guys. You just know that when you come into a place like this, you can't be the head honcho, right? Who's ready to head honcho? You just got to be yourself and find your way and be a sponge too. Learn from those guys because what they've done in the past 10 years is phenomenal. It's his league and everybody been watching them, and all I can do is be a sponge and learn. And when I'm on the court, just learn my spots. And every day I'm learning something different, and just be that guy to help them get to the next championship. Be the elite floor face I need to be, and when opportunities come, just be efficient and try to be successful in those moments. Yes, sir.
Great, thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Get home safe.
Jonathan, Jimmy, a couple people have talked about how much Jimmy's helped you after practice, taking you aside and played one-on-one and giving you guidance. Can you sort of describe his influence on you? Why it's helped, you think?
I'll say I just being a sponge, going to him every single day, not just after practice, just anytime I interact with him, just trying to pick his brain up. And I feel like in this league, he's one of the people that actually been in my shoes throughout their career, like know what I've been going through or what I've been through. And I would say just a similarity of the game and just his knowledge of the game, just as much as he knows, and that's why he's Jimmy, and just trying to pick his brain as much as I can.
How did you feel like you played tonight? How did you feel like you played tonight?
I'll say not bad. Just good to help the team win this game, but it was just decent. I was just trying to pick up the speed, learning how to play with Jimmy and Steph and Draymond on the same floor. Yeah.
9 rebounds and 6 assists has been some of the talk post game. How lasered are you in on rebounding, and how much do you believe your assisting has improved over the summer?
I'll say just the rebound part. It's just been a goal I've been speaking to my people. Just myself, AV, I was trying to set a goal and just be a rebounder as much as I can. No matter how my game is going on offense and defense, just making sure, just impacting on that side of the game, just being a great rebounder. And I'll say assist-wise, it's just the game has slowed down so much. It's just things I'm reading way better compared to, before or my past. So, just letting the game come to me easily and not trying to force a lot of things and just reading how people playing against me or, how we're moving on the court with different people on the floor, with Steph, with Jimmy, Draymond, with Buddy, just pretty much everybody on the team, and just learning how they're moving,
And I think it's one of the things I kind of went through over summertime, watching a lot of films, just working on playing without the ball, with the ball, using certain people as Jimmy, Steph, just focusing on how to play with those people and just working on my own basketball pace. And I think that's kind of helped me throughout the summer. That's what helping me out there to just seeing the game even better.
Your defensive assignment tonight was Luka. It seemed like you were pretty focused on defending him without fouling, keeping your arms at your sides. What were some of the challenges to that matchup, and I guess how would you describe how you fared in it?
I think for my past 4 years I've been here, they'll just give me those type of assignment, just going out there, guarding the best players, and Luka being one of them. I just try to go out there and just defend without fouling. Just trying to make his life a little bit harder. He's still one of the best players in this league. I'm not going to stop him every single time. Just going out there, try to bother him. He's a great player. Just focusing on that assignment and trying to do my best. And I think just going forward, that's pretty much my assignment, doing those type of things, just making sure I don't foul and that's it.
How good does your three-point shot feel?
I mean, it feels great. It's a couple. It's something that I have so much confidence in doing it, especially if I'm going to be out there playing with Jimmy and Steph, and Draymond to try to create more, as much space as I can. And it's something I've been working on all summer. It feels great, and I'm not afraid of shooting it because I know how much time I put working on that three-point shot, and it feels good. So I don't have any problem shooting, and they actually want me to shoot so I could give certain people space. But I'm so confident about my shot going through this season.
Cool, great, thank you.
Thank you.
16 from the free throw line is, up there with best Warriors performance ever. How big was that aspect of tonight? What he did at the line?
It's huge. And it was the reason we became a good team last year. As soon as we got him, he provides that stability, the ability to get fouled and go to the line and settle the game down. He never turns the ball over. So he just controls the game out there for us, and we need that. We've always been at our best when we can, provide the support for Draymond and Steph's chaos with some stability. That's what Andre did, Sean Livingston, because the chaos is really powerful, but it can also get away from us. And Jimmy just settles us down, and thought he did a great job of that tonight.
Hey, Steve. Obviously, Jimmy's perception took a hit last season, and then as soon as he got here, he said his joy returned. He said he felt at home. Why do you think he has been such a good fit with this team?
Really, because he complements Steph and Draymond so well. What I just mentioned, the not only the free throws but the ball security. We've been a high turnover team for a long time, and so we need that. His ability to settle down, and when you can get to the line like that, it puts a ton of pressure on your opponent. And on the nights when you maybe don't have the offensive flow, to be able to rely on that is huge.
Steve, you went to the Steph and Jimmy pick and roll, except where Jimmy's the ball handler and Steph's the screener. What made that so effective, especially late in the game?
Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler made that effective. Two of the best players in the league, and you do that because you just don't want to turn it over. You want to run some clock, and you want to get a good shot. So you put your two best players in the play, and both guys made big shots, big plays. And I thought Jonathan's offensive rebound was kind of the play of the night for me, just sealing the game with that extra possession that we scored on.
Steve, you've been pleased with Jonathan's play for a few weeks now. What do you think has gotten him into such a solid rhythm early here?
I think he's really, really matured. He's had a great camp. We've had some really good conversations. I think he has a better understanding of, what we need. You saw in the first half, he took a couple tough mid-range fadeaways that we don't want. He immediately held up his hand. He realized, that was not the shot. He had, a couple turnovers where he drove into traffic. And second half starts, and, the whole talk at halftime was, let's use Steph Curry. Let's use his movement and put pressure on the defense. And because we didn't do that in the first half. And Jonathan, the first few plays of the third quarter, it was beautiful. He screened for Steph, slipped to the rim. Draymond got him a bucket. We ran our split cut stuff. They both went with Steph. He hit the wide open three. I think he just has a better sense of what's needed now compared to past years. And I think Jimmy has really helped him too. Jimmy has really talked to him a lot during camp. He's taken him aside after practices, and I think Jonathan is, you got to remember, he just turned 23, So I talk about this a lot, but, he's basically, he played, 8 games in the G League bubble, then came to us basically as like a freshman in college. That's how I looked at it. And so a lot of the players today just don't get the same experience, reps that they did years ago. And for him, it hasn't been easy to find minutes on our team, and I'm really proud of him for staying with it and really maturing. And it's a great start for him and for us.
Hey, Steve, over here to your right. First game out of the box, you may not be exactly sure what it's going to look like. How close did this come to what you had hoped to see?
Second half is what we're hoping for. 6 turnovers, really good flow offensively, ball movement to force the defense to react. That's the team we're looking for. The defense I thought was great in the first half, other than a few fouls. But Draymond was just a monster, guarding the whole court in that first half. It was amazing to watch. But second half. That's how it has to look for us with the ball security and the movement, and Jimmy and Steph, playing through those guys and everybody else kind of filling their roles.
Steve, following up on Nick's question about Jonathan, it seemed like you mentioned the tip rebound late in the game, but also seemed like a few times he used his speed and strength to make a pass that maybe he wouldn't have made. And it seems like he's making quicker decisions, which is something you're always harping on.
Yeah.
How much is that part of his game essential to sort of what you need? And
yeah, it's a big deal. It's a decision-making sport, and all 5 guys are going to touch the ball, and they all have to make decisions. And as I said, our decision-making in the first half was poor, and second half it was much better. Our spacing was better, and J.K. made some really big plays and took care of the ball and was in the right spots, and it was an impressive performance.
Hey, Steve, back to Jimmy. What are the things he does that puts him in the position to make the right play, whether it's finishing or getting to the foul line, making the pass?
Just incredible strength, physical strength, and incredible fundamental base. 4 years at Marquette. I think it was maybe. I know he played 4 years of college. I think it was all at Marquette, but fundamentally sound, and then crafty. You saw Luka drawing fouls left and right. Jimmy's out there doing the same. When you're that strong and that fundamentally sound, and you have that big of a brain like Luka and Jimmy do, you just constantly are finding angles and creating contact where it's a foul on the defense. And not many guys can do that in the league, but both those guys tonight did it beautifully.
We know you've been a fan of Will Richard this preseason and training camp, but at what point did you know that you could trust him to play real rotation minutes?
I think it was after the first couple of exhibition games that he played in. The first week of camp, we're just installing stuff. We didn't really get a great look. And then, a couple of exhibition games, you just see him constantly making the right cut, being in the right place at the right time, like he was on that late clock offensive rebound that that he scored on. Was that his first NBA hoop? I don't know. Maybe it was, but we gave him the game ball afterwards, for his first hoop, and I told him that, and I think it was his first NBA hoop, but I told the guys that usually I know when it's somebody's first hoop, and I make sure we get the ball from the officials right away. I completely forgot tonight, and I told the guys the reason I forgot is because Will looks like he's in his 7th year. He doesn't look like a rookie out there. And we eventually tracked the ball down, and he got it. So great night for Will. It was fun.
Steve, what made the spacing between Jimmy, Jonathan, and Draymond so much more effective tonight compared to some of the issues last season with that?
Well, I'm going to have to look at the tape. I didn't think the spacing was good at all in the first half. Second half was much better. I think we kind of have our spots that we have to get to when Jimmy is in isolation, and I think we did a better job of that in the second half. But and the ball movement, if you don't have spacing, if you can execute and get the ball moving side to side, that opens up possibilities too.
Steve, at least from the outside looking in, I think there were some questions when Jimmy came here whether Jimmy and Draymond would mesh personality-wise. Seems like that has not been an issue at all. If anything, the opposite has happened. What have you seen behind the scenes from their chemistry and their relationship?
Yeah, I mean, two of the great competitors in the league. So being on the same team, I think they love competing together. It's just impressive to watch just how competitive, how physically tough, how smart they are, just making the right reads at both ends over and over. They're loving playing together for sure.
Just how do you think, just in general, the starters looked, and then to kind of follow on that, totally different look on Thursday with Denver. Do you anticipate going with this look again, or maybe Al in the starting lineup? Just how do you?
Yeah, possibly Al. I mean, it's what I've told you guys last week is I don't want Draymond starting at the 5, 82 nights. So there will be nights where we start bigger, and we'll figure that out. Thanks.
Thank you.